Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Edu-spectra. So now today in our class we will be starting with factorization of polynomials. Okay, so now first of all we will start with the example number 1. Okay, so now before example number 1, if you see your text, you can see something called as the factor theorem. Okay, this factor theorem is just like your remainder theorem, that is even in our previous class also we had done a question in our example number 10, like check whether the polynomial is a multiple or whether it is a factor. So what did we do over there? We found out that whether if the remainder is equal to 0, then the given polynomial will be a multiple or it will be the factor of each other. Okay, the same concept is being told in your factor theorem. Okay, so now let us see with our example number 11. The question is, examine whether x plus 2 is a factor of x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6 and of 2x plus 4. So this we should do in accordance with the factor theorem. So according to the factor theorem, if you see that it is if p of x is a polynomial of degree n greater than 1 and a is any real number, then x minus a is a factor of p of x if p of a is equal to 0, which means that we have to show that the remainder will become equal to 0, then whatever the given polynomial is given to you will be the factor of it. Okay, so here you have been given x plus 2. Okay, so we have to see whether x plus 2 is the factor of this. So first of all, we know what is our first step. Take x plus 2, equate it to 0. So from here we will get x is equal to minus 2. Okay, we got x is equal to minus 2. Now what should we do? We should substitute this minus 2 in this equation and this equation. Okay, these are two separate equations. First of all, substitute. Let us take the first equation, say as p of x, and second one as say q of x. Okay, so first of all, let's see whether this x plus 2 is a factor of p of x. So here we got x is equal to minus 2. So we have to find the value of p of minus 2 is equal to, substitute minus 2 in place of x. So minus 2 the whole cube plus 3 into minus 2 the whole square plus 5 into minus 2 plus 6. Okay, when you open the bracket, you will be getting minus 8 plus 3 into 4 plus minus 10 plus 6. Okay, now minus 8 plus 12 minus 10 plus 6. Okay, so minus 8 plus 12 is, you will be getting plus 4. Okay, then minus 10 plus 6 is again minus 4. So 4 minus 4, we will be getting 0. Okay, which means that when we substituted our minus 2 in this p of x, we got our answer as 0. This means that now since we got this p of minus 2 as 0, we can say that the remainder will be equal to 0. Now since the remainder is equal to 0, we can say that x plus 2 is a factor of this x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 6. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now let's move on to our we can see that whether q of x is a factor. So our q of x is equal to 2x plus 1. So we have to do, we got x is equal to minus 2. So we have to find q of minus 2. Substitute in place of x over here. So 2 into minus 2 plus 4. So 2 into minus 2 is minus 4 plus 4. So we will be getting the value as q of 2 is equal to 0. Okay, we got q of minus 2 is equal to 0. What does this mean? This means that we will be getting a remainder equal to 0. Now since we got a remainder equal to 0, we can say that x plus 2 is a factor of this 2x plus 4. Okay, so whenever the remainder is equal to 0, then definitely it will be a factor. Okay, and this is the same thing is what your factor theorem tells you. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, so now we will be learning a new thing, which is factorization of a given quadratic polynomial using splitting the middle term method. Okay, there are different methods by using you can factorize a quadratic polynomial, but today we will be learning how can we factorize a given polynomial by splitting the middle term. Okay, so there are a few steps that you should be following in order to do it. Okay, so just listen to me carefully. How will we do it? Okay, so whenever a quadratic polynomial is given to you, first of all we have to write we have to find the sum and product. Okay, so how will you find the sum and product? Always the term in the middle. So here the middle term is what? 17x. So just look at this number, this 17. Okay, this middle number will be your sum. So from here I can write sum is equal to 17. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, how will we find the product? Product we can find by multiplying the last number with the first number. That is, we have to multiply this 5 and this 6. So, what is 5 into 6? 30. So, from here I can write product is equal to 30. Okay. So, first of all, whenever a polynomial is given to you, find the sum and product. Our next task is to find two numbers on which thus two numbers have to be, when we multiply those two numbers we should get 30, and when we add those two numbers we should get 70. That is the condition that we should be following. So first of all we can see what all numbers when we do we will be getting 30. For example, first one we know 3 into 10 is equal to 30. Isn't it? 3 into 10 is equal to 30. But just add and see when you sum it. 3 plus 10. What is 3 plus 10? 30. Okay. But we want what? 17. So we cannot take 3 into 10. Okay. Now what is our second option? We can take 6 into 5. Isn't it? 6 into 5 was what? 30. But when we do 6 plus 5. Okay, when we do 6 plus 5, we will be getting what? 11. Okay, again if you see, we need what? We need 70. We don't need 11. So this also cannot be the possibility. So now our next possibility is we can take 15 into 2. Isn't it? We know 15 into 2 is what? 15 into 2 is again 30. Now if we take 15 plus 2. Now we should sum it. Now what is 15 plus 2? 15 plus 2 is what? 17. Okay. So now we have got a perfect set over here. That means when we multiply 15 and 2, we will be getting the product as 30. When we are adding 15 and 2, we will be getting the sum as 17. Okay. Numbers that we require, okay, for factorization is 15 and 2. Okay, 15 comma 2. This is the next step. Find two numbers on which when we multiply we will be getting the product, and when we are adding we should get the sum that we have found out. Okay, so the two numbers are 15 and 2. Okay, now our next step is we have to split the middle term. So first of all, this is the polynomial. First step is write this 6x square as it is plus. Now what should you do? We are splitting the middle term. That means this 17x we should split it into 15 and 2. Okay. So we had found the two numbers as 15 and 2. So instead of writing this 17x, we have to split this middle term and write it as 15x. Okay, this 15 I am putting a simple x also. This 15 plus this 2 also I am writing over here, plus 2x. So if you see 15x plus 2x is what? 17x. How did I find those two numbers? By checking whether if I am multiplying this I am getting 30, when I am adding whether I am getting 17. I just splitted this 17x as 15x plus 2x. Now this 5 you can write as it is. Okay, now here if you see the order does not matter, you can also write 2x plus 15x or 15x plus 2x. Anyway you can write. Okay, so this is the way in which you split the middle term. Now the next step is we have to group the common multiples. Okay, so if you see 2 and 6 are the common multiples, 5, 15 and 5 are the multiples of 5. So I am bringing the common ones together. So I can write 16x square plus 2x plus 15x plus 5. Okay, I group the common ones. Now this I can take it as one term and this I can take it as a second group. Okay, I'm just grouping it. This one group, this as the second group. Now what should you do is we have to take common. Okay, we have to take something common over here. So when you take common, we know that if I take 2 common out, okay, I am taking 2 as common, and from here we are having an x square and an x. So from here we can also take a x also common. When I say common, we have to open a bracket. So we know 2 into what is 6? 3. Okay, and the x is left behind. So one thing, when you are always taking something common, when you open the bracket you should get back the same. So if you see over here, if you open the bracket, we know 2 into 3 is what? 6. X into x is what? X square. So when you open the bracket you should get back the same thing. Plus, now 2 is over here and then x is also over here. So here it should be 1, because when you open the bracket 2x into 1 is 2x. Okay, this is the way in which you should check whether when we are taking something common are we getting back the same thing. Okay, plus from here we can see 5 and 15. 5 we can take it as common. Here we cannot take x as common. Why? Because this 5 does not have an x. When we take common, the number that we are taking common should be common to both the two numbers. Okay, so from here I took 5 common. So 5 3s are 15. So I can write 3x, because when I open it, I will be getting 15x back plus 1. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, this is our next step. That is, take the common values. Now if you see over here, if you have done your splitting the middle term correctly, this term and this term, the terms that you have taken common, the terms that are present inside the bracket will be same. Okay, so now our task is over. Now when for writing our final answer, what should you do? We can take this 3x plus 1 common, which means that just write. Now since there are 2 3x plus 1, 1 3x plus 1, we can take it common. So I am writing 3x plus 1 over here into, now group this 2x and this plus 5. So from here I will be getting 2x plus 5. Since there are 2 3x plus 1 and here also 3x plus 1, take this 3x plus 1 as common. So what is left with you? 2x plus 5. Okay, isn't it? So this is your final answer. Okay, this is the final factorization. Okay, by using splitting the middle term method. Okay, once again I will explain to you. First of all, what should we do? We have to write the sum and product. Sum is the middle number. So here the middle number was 70. Now product, how will you find? Multiply the last number with the first number. So 5 into 6 we got 30. Now our next task was to find two numbers such that when we multiply we should get 30 and when we add we should get 17. So the two numbers were 15 and 2. Why? Because 15 into 2 when we did, we had got 30, and 15 plus 2 when we did, we got 17. So the two numbers were 15 and 2. Now our next task was what? We had to split the middle term. So the two numbers we got, put an x over here, put an x over here, then just add it. Okay. Then after that what did we do? We had grouped the common multiple terms. So 6 2's are common multiple, these are common multiples of 5. So we grouped them. Now after grouping them, what did we do? We took something common so that the term that you are getting in the bracket should be same. Here also it should be same. Here also it should be same. Okay. So here we got 2x into 3x plus 1 plus 5 into 3x plus 1. After that, what did we do? We took this 3x plus 1 as common out. Then what is left with you? 2x plus 5. So put that also in the bracket. Okay. So this will be your final factorization answer. Okay. I hope it is clear to you.